Hey guys, welcome to yet another episode of In the Game. I'm Robert Guerrero.
And I'm Mason Pratt, back inside the studio here at SVN. Plenty of news and highlights to catch you up on.
Priscilla headed out to the Athletic Alumni Center to the volleyball game against Tulane for Fan Zone.
And then for our Cougar Corner segment, Robert catches up with none other than the Heisman Trophy candidate, Case Keenum.
But first, let's get started with news.
Volleyball opened up conference play with a 3-0 sweep of Rice. Next is a busy conference weekend as both Southern Miss and Tulane come to town. Meanwhile, soccer, after dropping their first 5 games, have won 3 in a row, including a 9-0 pounding of Texas Southern, which was the 100th victory in program history. Next, the girls open up CUSA play as number 9 Memphis comes into town.
The football team just survived a scare against Louisiana Tech after being down by as many as 27 points. Case led the team back to a 35-34 victory to keep the Cougs' BCS hopes alive. Case is also 4th in the Davy O'Brien vote behind Baylor's Robert Griffin, trailing him by only a few hundred votes. UH fans can go onto the Davy O'Brien website and vote for Case. The Cougars will face off against Georgia State here at Robertson and then have a short week as they'll face off against UTEP on Thursday.
Football's had a wild start to the year, so let's catch you up with some highlights. 2-0 Cougs going to Ruston, Louisiana, taking on the Bulldogs of Louisiana Tech. Skip ahead to the third quarter. Cougs in a lot of trouble, though. Down 34-7 when Keenum finds a wide-open Patrick Edwards for the 50-yard touchdown. Hey, you never know with this offense. They could still very much in this game. The D forces a 3-and-out next possession for the Cougs. Keenum finds Justin Johnson over the middle. He finishes with 100 yards receiving on the day. First time he's done that in his career. 55 of them right there down to the Bulldog 14. 6 plays later, handoff to Bryce Bell up the middle, touchdown, and it's a 2-possession game early in the fourth quarter. Still plenty of time for the Cougs. The defense trying to do their part to get the team back in it, forces the fumble there from running back Ray Holly. Cougs would recover. Next Coug possession, handoff Bryce Bell. Tries to get to the pylon and does, and just like that, it is a 1-possession game halfway through the fourth quarter. Time running down in the ball game. Defense needing to make a play, and guess who? Sammy Brown, who's been living in the backfield all year, gets the quarterback. That would force a Bulldog punt, giving the offense just one more chance. Keenum, though, 32 yards out, finds Patrick Edwards in the back of the end zone, 1 foot down. That's a touchdown. Keenum finishes with 351 yards on the day, 3 touchdowns, and leads the largest comeback in school history. Down 27 points late in the third, they score 28 unanswered as the Cougs win a thriller over the Bulldogs 35-34.
Don't go away, because when we come back, me and Mason will do our commentary segment, and then we'll head out with Priscilla for her Fan Zone.
All right, welcome back. Fall sports in full swing. Everybody's off to a pretty decent start.
The girls' soccer team has struggled there at the beginning, 0-5 to begin with, but they played 2 ranked teams.
Yeah, two tough top 10 teams.
But they won their last 3 there. A couple of them here in Houston, although one was at HBU. And now they get to go against another ranked team, number 9 Memphis.
Hopefully they can bounce back. Hopefully those 3 wins kind of gave them a little more confidence so they can go out and have at least a better showing than they did against those top 10 teams. Volleyball also doing really well, sitting at 8-3.
Yes. The volleyball team is continuing with last year's theme of girl power after the basketball team and softball team
just dominated
their seasons. The volleyball team has won 2 of the 3 tournaments they've been at, and they've opened up conference play pretty strong against Rice.
And the main fall sport, football, 3-0, although they probably shouldn't be.
Yeah, we got a little scare there in Louisiana Tech. I know a few.
That was a big scare.
Yeah, Cougar fans were sitting at the edge of
taking
their seats.
blood pressure medicine now because of that game.
Yeah, they waited to the last possible second. Defense finally came up big in the final quarter, making stop after stop after stop.
Yeah, two key turnovers by the defense. La Tech, they're ahead, and they come out throwing on the first play. It gets batted in the air and picked off, and
helped really swing that game.
It was huge because before that, defense hadn't really created that many turnovers on the season. That was the most turnovers they created all season long, and it was in one quarter. So that was pretty huge of them to step up after being pretty much dismantled by a 17-year-old quarterback at LA Tech.
Yeah, for 2.5 quarters he was completely outplaying Case Keenum, and but they finally turned it around late in the third quarter.
Yeah, the offense was finally able to get going. Case just became Case all of a sudden. Was hitting pretty much every pass that he threw, most of them over 20 yards. Most of those touchdowns were over 20 yards. Yeah, huge plays.
Big play to Edwards, 2 big plays to Edwards, the one that gets you back into the game, and then the one to end up going ahead that ended up being the key touchdown and the winning touchdown.
What a catch, too. Just
Patrick Edwards doing what he does, but I have some concerns because not only offensively, they haven't played a full game yet, I don't think. You saw it last week in Ruston against Louisiana Tech, and the week before there was a real slow start against North Texas.
Yeah, both Case and Coach Sumlin talked about it during their Tuesday morning press conference. The team needs to figure out how to flip that switch at the beginning of the game. They can't wait till the last couple of minutes when their back's against the wall. They have to flip that switch starting from the very first second. And I think when they come back home, that will help them a little bit.
Yeah, hopefully this upcoming game against Georgia State will hopefully that's the mindset going in is, okay, you might call it like a warm-up game, but hopefully they can learn to just put the pedal down and play for 4 quarters, and hopefully this game is over by halftime.
Yeah, we saw it against UCLA. They started off very strong. They came out after the half kind of lax. UCLA got back in the game, and it was a close one there towards the end, but we were able to pull it out in the end.
Still concerning me is the defense. I think they're giving up almost 200 yards on the ground per game, and also only 1 sack through 3 games. They're not getting to the quarterback, and they better start.
Yeah, you could see that, especially against Louisiana Tech. A lot of time for that young quarterback to hit his 3 main targets, and they did a lot of damage in that first half.
And, if once conference play starts and ECU has started to sling it around a lot more, there's more of a U of H type offense, a lot of quick passes, so they got to get pressure with their front 3 and their fourth, whether it's Sammy Brown or Phillip Stewart coming off the edge. They got to start getting to the quarterback a lot more.
I think the senior leadership needs to stand up. Marcus McGraw needs to take control of that whole midfield and just shut it down. As you said, too many rushing yards, too many yards on the ground. It opens up everybody's passing game, and that's where they're tearing up the Cougar defense most of the time.
And, give Louisiana Tech credit last week because they came out ready to play. They completely rattled Case in the entire offense from the first drive. They went 3 and out. They didn't look at all like the team, the offense that we know that they are.
Yeah, one of the top offenses in the nation was shut down in that first half. But then they turned it on. Case showed why he's a dark horse for all these titles, all these single awards, especially even maybe a Heisman vote here and there. And he's just racking it up.
Yeah, for those first 2 quarters, Case didn't look like Case. He wasn't stepping up into the pocket. He was throwing off his back foot a lot, and they were off. And Louisiana Tech was making them pay. Off-target throws were becoming not just incompletions, but interceptions and turnovers.
2 picks for Case, very unlike him. He usually doesn't get a pick a game, and now he had 2 in 1. It was very devastating to the offense.
But yeah, a win is a win. And that'll do it. Let's send it out to Priscilla Riojas, who is at U of H versus Tulane volleyball for our Fan Zone segment.